should get some stories for me to talk about. Okay. What do you think the big stories are that we need to cover anyway?
I don't know. We haven't done this for a month, so I'm not really sure where we are.
I guess we should start at the most recent.
Yeah, I could maybe work my way backwards. I would start with the Democratic presidential primary debate. Is that what it is officially?
That sounds reasonable. Oh, I forgot my drink. I'll be right back.
Oh, will you bring the bottle of wine when you're back,
I certainly
please?
will. Regale the live non-audience.
It's really late. I'm not sure why we're recording it right now since we're both tired. I guess it's because if we don't do it tonight, another whole damn week will go by. Sorry, y'all. It's life just took over with a vengeance. School started. We got 2 littles in school now. So that's a whole scheduling adjustment. Plus I got another job, so I'm working full-time-ish. That's an additional schedule adjustment for everyone. So we're all transitioning pretty well. But unfortunately, things like regular recording of our podcast that you've tuned into here this evening or today, Woke with Kids has really taken a far back seat. So if you're one of our regular listeners, we apologize for dropping out, ghosting, as the kids say, for a few weeks. And we appreciate your patience and are glad to have you back. And if this is your first time listening, yes, welcome to Woke with Kids. It is me. Oh my God. Yeah, we are a couple here in Los Angeles. I am Melissa, as I was saying. My husband is Yaze, and, we're artist, parent folk here in LA, and we started this podcast a couple years ago, kind of in the midst of a lot of the state-sanctioned police violence against unarmed black men and their murders, for lack of a better term. And initially it was like, how do we talk to our kids about this? And all of the conversations that were slowly bubbling up surrounding it on a larger societal scale. And over the years, because that is way too heavy to put out into the universe every week, we have expanded to include just news, political news. We talk about Trump and his antics and political shenanigans, as they were in general. We throw in some entertainment, pop culture, things that we're interested in, things that we think you might be interested in, and we just rap about it. And we often go on a tangent because we are often imbibing with adult things. So we all have our vices. Yeah, I was just thanking the people who normally listen to us for hanging in there. Oh, I don't think anyone's watching, but... And if they're new, giving them the rundown on who we are and how we started, and coming up on 2 years, and how we've expanded from talking about just all the catching hell that black people and people of color, but especially black people, that's our lens that we view the world.
You got to start somewhere,
have been
guys.
Catches. So, we throw in Cardi B, we throw in whatever. I mean, I watched Hip Hop Squares. Y'all been watching that? You watched that before?
Hip Hop Squares? No.
Yeah, it's like I don't remember what the original... Oh, Hollywood Squares. Where it's like a tic-tac-toe. Okay, right. So, it's entertaining. I get it. I totally get it. Ice Cube is like the host. He's the center square. And then they had Nene Leakes.
What channel is this on?
Oh, Lord. VH1. Is that the one that shows all like the black...
VH1 is kind of black. By the way, I do have to go back in because
Ellison's in the toilet, on the toilet.
Correct, though. Exactly. So yeah, you can stretch a little bit longer. This is also part of the show, is that even though it is damn near midnight on the West Coast, our children have one child has plotted somehow to extend
every night. He's mastered it. I think he's like, deserves a toy, I guess. He was trying to hustle me at Target today, and I was like, no.
I gotta go wipe a booty. I'll be right back. And then we'll really get started, guys. I'm serious. We're gonna do some podcasting. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be amazing.
So E is 4, and he's finally made it over the potty training hump. I'm sure our listeners have heard way too much about his bowel movements or lack thereof, because it has been was a major source of frustration for me personally. It was like causing stress for everybody, and he was starting preschool, and we resolved all that. But now his schedule is he goes late at night, and it's coincidentally one more thing that gets this little Negro out of bed after bedtime. After he's gotten the hug and said goodnight to everyone and got his water and brushed his teeth and got all the stuffed animals that need to be put to bed and all the things. So this is the last one, but what time is it? This might be the latest it's ever been. Of course, because we finally decided to try and record the podcast. Well, I'm wondering how y'all week was. Oh, also, happy full moon, y'all. Happy full moon. Happy full harvest moon. We are coming up on fall equinox as we go into a new season. And we are almost preparing for colder winter months. This is the time, as according to my readings, to let all the shit go. All the stress, all the things that had you anxious, maybe, or overwhelmed, perhaps. Time to let it go and clarify and get ready to just knock the rest of the year out, even if that's knocking out your self-care or your budget, like sticking to your budget, or just taking a lot of naps. That's what the winter is for, y'all. You can hibernate.
I love it.
We're mammalian. It's okay. Do what you gotta do. Take your ass to bed. Get through the winter without it getting the cold, I swear.
I'm happy to report that it's been another successful defecation.
I was saying that I apologize to our listeners because they have heard way too much about our son's bowel movements or lack thereof. But I said, hey, they also heard how frustrated it was, making all of us.
Yes.
So... Huzzah!
Oh, you mean not going to the potty? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, no, it's fantastic.
I mean, once we get off this 11:30 p.m. thing,
which is a con, it's a complete con.
That's what I told him too. I said he done did everything else. He gave the hugs, the good night, the teeth, the water.
Yeah,
he didn't have anything else. This is the only thing that he knew he could get out of bed for. We would not be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
How coinky dinky? That's all I'm saying.
But if something comes out, what am I supposed to say? Good job.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so
I
think I haven't had to stretch in a long time.
Stretch?
Like on
yeah, exactly.
I'm the one going in.
That's true. It's a good point. I'm trying to,
I did it though. I did it.
You did it, and I think you did a great job. And I'm glad you
hear it.
The fact that the time was filled means it was successful, right?
I appreciate that you think I did a good job either way.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, who's that? Christina. I don't have my glasses on, girl. I miss you. Hi, Christina.
What's up, sis?
We need to catch up, girl. We need to catch up.
Holler at a show. Okay. I don't know. What are y'all doing up? All two of y'all up at this hour of the night.
It's the same person.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Let's talk. First up, what we normally talk about.
From the way back in the day.
In truth. What we normally talk about.
We had no kids, girl. We had no kids.
I don't remember such a time. I think y'all are making this time up. There's no such thing. I've always had children. I was born with kids. Born with them.
Oh, bet. I'll come to Vegas.
You see that light on my face, guys? The live guys. Do I look orange? Because your president thinks that you look orange. Okay.
Is that him explaining why he looks orange?
Yeah. He's going to roll back this is the theme. Okay, let's talk Trump for a little, guys. Because first, what we do, we back in the day, it's a tradition around here to talk about Trump. We got to talk about Trumping because it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. We had the greatest president of our generation, Barack Obama. Long may he live. Long may he prosper. And then directly after it, we've essentially had the equivalent of a never-ending SNL skit, in the presidential office. We're in a reality now where comedy shows can't outdo how ridiculous this guy is, and we got to talk about it, guys. I mean, we got to get it out of the way, the ridiculousness out of the way, so we can talk about shit that actually matters. But here's the most ridiculous thing I heard Trump this week was in one of his rallies. He complained about the fluorescent lights. Now, some of you may be aware of the fact that under Obama increased federal regulations for like federal buildings and places that bought light and all that kind of stuff to buy fluorescent light, or rather LED lights, the kind of lights that last 1 million years and they actually are better for your eyes and all that stuff. But he doesn't like them because he says they're too expensive, and here's the kicker, they make you look orange. They make you look orange. And that's why he looks orange. This whole time it's been a conspiracy of the Obama administration to perpetrate.
I'm sorry.
You see what I'm saying?
I couldn't hold it in any longer.
Goddamn right, because it's a travesty that they're treating our president this way. It's a travesty that they're treating our president this way.
If this dude wants to take a black Sharpie and circle what he want to circle on the weather forecast,
who are you to tell him that? Who are you to tell him?
Who are you to say he shouldn't do that and tweet about it?
That's right.
Okay? He is the motherfucking president.
He's the president. Listen here. If
okay, he can Sharpie whatever he wants.
It could have been raining in Alabama or wherever it was that he circled with that Sharpie. It could rain there. It could have been a lot of bad things happening. The fact that it didn't happen, you know what?
Does not take away.
Wait. It might have. Do you know for a fact that the reason it didn't rain there was because Trump circled it with his Sharpie of protection? Okay? You don't know what Trump was trying to do. Trump could have been circling that to be like, this is where I got my protection on it. They ain't gonna have no rain here. You misunderstood.
I read a headline that said Ivanka.
That's your fault.
Was going to Alabama.
What's up, John?
And they were like, not going to the place where the hurricane actually hit.
Well, of course not. Why would you do that?
Like,
why would you?
Was that North Carolina?
Boom, 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 boom.
South Carolina.
Florida, all the other places, the Bahamas. You heard about that?
Oh, well, really, though. What are we even talking about?
What's up with the Bahamas, y'all?
The Bahamas.
So, y'all are aware that we had a big storm.
They had a big storm.
Oh yeah, the world had a big storm. All right, the world's having big storms. It's kind of a trend. It's kind of a thing that's happening. I don't know if you've been paying attention one way or the other. I don't judge you. Okay, that's your business, right? But they had a big storm. It got to be Category 5 out there in the ocean, and by the time it hit America, thank God, it had gotten better. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it was still pretty freaking bad. It was still pretty bad.
And it was really bad when it hit Bahamas, the islands of the Bahamas.
And unfortunately, when it hit the Bahamas, yes, it was.
And some of those, I believe, southern islands really are fucked.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So bad that it was initially challenging to, conduct rescues and get them emergency supplies because, like, the port was fucked up, so boats couldn't dock. Basically, I think, like, Coast Guard, U.S. Coast Guard, where helicopters were able to just, like, fly over and drop some shit or pick some people up. But, it's ongoing shenanigans because there were Bahamians on a ferry that got turned away at the U.S. and we're not granting them any type of, like, emergency protected status. And apparently it's all criminals that are trying to escape a destroyed island.
To be fair, America's full. Okay, we don't have any more room.
Bullish.
I was just driving through L.A. Okay, and traffic was terrible. Okay, traffic was it was traffic everywhere. Buildings. There was homelessness. It's goddamn Wild West Mad Max out there, and we can't afford to help people in America. It's just too dangerous.
I saw another headline where it's about the fix for homelessness is, I'm sorry, it is not funny. Federal camps.
Federal camps?
Federal camps.
Like
getting them off the street and housing them in federal camps.
Like we would concentrate them in camps. Like we would concentrate the number of homeless.
But this is what I feel like. Camps. How people don't see this. Like if all of a sudden the solution are these government, not even government, but like privately owned, but government funded, camps. How does everyone not see this as just an outright money grab? Between the prison industrial complex and privatized prisons,
are we
with the insane increase of these camps for migrants and the children and now homeless?
Now
who else can we put in a camp?
Now listen,
make
John.
Money off of it?
Now listen, John. I hear you. One of our live viewers, he says drive through northern Nevada. I guess that's in response to me talking about LA. But listen here, buddy. Okay. Now, as everyone knows, all right, Nevada is full. All right. There is no room in Nevada. Okay. Let's be real now. You got mountains and deserts, and I'm going to assume a few people, and you just can't fit anymore there. Okay, so the Bahamas are going to have to suffer. I'm sorry, John, but I have to call you out on that one. I've been in Nevada. They got Las Vegas there, and Las Vegas is full, bro. Okay, so I'm sorry. Thank you. Good try though. We can't help people, man. It's just off the table. So it's funny you mentioned we're talking about asylum though, because funny thing happened on the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court allowed a bunch of rules, very restrictions on people seeking asylum. Have you heard about these?
Yeah, I just heard they basically upheld his asylum ban.
Yeah.
Basically saying it is no longer a global right to come to the U.S. border and file paperwork to legally obtain asylum to live here. No. They upheld that, and now Mexico's fucked because all the people that came all the way to the U.S. border can't even request and apply for asylum without having applied for asylum in one of the countries that they passed through to get there.
That's right.
And so basically now they're all in Mexico, and they're going to apply in Mexico, which is already backlogged. What's crazy is it's not just migrants from Guatemala or Honduras or El Salvador. There's also many African migrants. I mean, it's not just limited to Central American countries, as a result of America's demand for illegal drugs.
Yeah.
And the violence that has grown there because of the gangs and cartels. Not that I am any expert in any way, but,
Well, listen, okay. I don't see the problem here, guys. If you're going to illegally immigrate to America, okay, you just got to do it the smart way, which is
the old-fashioned way.
Well, which is by plane.
Risk your life.
Well, no. I was going to say hop on a plane. Hop on a plane, because that's where the majority of immigrants actually get into this country. They get on a plane and they get off a plane, and the plane comes over the air, and it doesn't go through any fences or gates or anything. So, if those guys if those migrants down there at the border in Guatemala, whatever, if they're not smart enough to hop on a plane because they're being chased by, I don't know, drug dealers or, bloodthirsty revolutionary regimes or whatever. I mean, is that my problem? Is that really our problem, honey? I mean, you know what I'm saying? America has a lot of problems right now. The stock market just, it's taking a dip every couple of days.
It's going back up because Trump said, okay, we're going to allow a bunch of Chinese shit to come in. And China said, okay, we're not going to tax the fuck out of the soybeans and the pork. And then they made a big order of soybeans.
Well, there you go.
The largest order in 3 months. See,
well,
I realize all you got to do is listen to NPR, y'all.
Yeah. That's
NPR,
true. You should listen
That's
to
how
NPR.
I know anything that I'm about to say tonight.
Yeah.
And I watched the debate.
Oh, yeah, we have to talk about we'll get to that. So, yeah, I mean, listen, there's nothing to worry about, nothing to see here, kids. Trump sold the soybeans. That means the farmers are going to be fine. That means that he's going to, for now, that means you guys can stop worrying about this trade war. He's showing you how easy it is to win. It only took, a year? 2? No big deal. Christmas is going to be fine, right? All the soybeans you can eat.
Basically, they was like, Mr. President.
Yeah.
This country will erupt in an all-out riot if people don't have money
Right.
To spend at Christmas time.
That's right. Exactly.
These people that are your base, your voters.
Yeah. Real Americans. Real Americans.
Good Christians.
That's right.
They want money to spend come.
They need it.
Come Black Friday.
That's right. And
sell them goddamn soybeans.
John, we're your friend. John said, I need a friend. I'm 200 miles from anywhere. Don't worry, buddy. We're here for you, okay? Keep the fire burning. So, going back to the Bahamians. So, Trump... Hot. You need a hug.
Oh, my God.
Oh, he's good. He's really going in today, guys.
You came all the way out here.
Really going in for the kill here.
Oh, wowzers.
This guy has come out here for the
hug.
He came
all the way out in the...
Guys, this is Ellison. Ellison is our eldest. Our youngest. Our eldest. I don't know what I'm doing. Our youngest, and he came in for the hug. That was a good move. I don't know if you got kids yet, but kids have a couple of patented moves to avoid sleep. Okay, sleep is the enemy. They don't want to sleep for some reason. I don't know why. When you get old, you forget those reasons because now all I want to do is sleep. But anyways, about your President Trump. So again, going back to all of the good reasons he has for shutting the gates of charity and help and asylum in America, all the very good reasons, totally founded reasons. Okay, guys. For one thing, everybody knows, all the asylum seekers, everybody running away from their country, what are they hiding from? Where are they running from? What do they have to hide? Everyone knows they're all very bad people, mostly gang members. It's just a fact, guys, okay? Read statistics, all right? But only the ones on Trump's Twitter feed, okay? But Bahamians... the ones that are fleeing the hurricane, as everyone knows, if you're in a hurricane and you die, then you're innocent. But if you survive, then you're a witch. So we can't have a bunch of witches coming to America, guys. Come on, let's be realistic. So that's why we can't have Bahamians and asylum seekers coming through. Okay. So that's Trump. That's Trump be Trumping. What else is Trump? Anything else Trump has done recently? So many things, so little time.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything else.
Oh, he fell out with the home dude, with the crazy
Bolton
security advisor.
John Bolton. Oh, wow.
That's how you know
Damn.
Trump can't get shit
That's
done
true.
because Bolton come in ready to wreck shit
up. He was
up.
ready to do whatever. He was like ready. He was ready for ruckus.
And
he came in like that Wu-Tang biopic. He ready to just shoot shit up. You know what I mean?
And if they can't figure it out, then
yeah,
Trump just literally doesn't know what he's doing.
No, so John Bolton.
And then he was like, Trump was like, yeah, I asked him to resign. And Bolton was like, actually,
I told him I
didn't want
was
to fuck with your ass, no way.
Yeah.
And I was about to resign. That's what I told him. And then
it was mad shady too, the way he put it. He was like, I offered to resign, and then Trump was like, no, let's talk about it in the morning. And then in the morning, Trump tweeted,
exactly.
I fired him. I mean, like,
it was very.
Ugh.
Bolton's like, look,
We've had this boss. We've all had this boss.
He said, I ain't one of you little punks.
We all had this boss, man. We've all had this petty ass boss.
You're not gonna do me like that.
John Bolton been around.
I know what I came to do.
John Bolton been around killing motherfuckers for a long time.
Or at least advocating for killing motherfuckers for a long time.
That's right. Hey, those who died are justified, Okay, so that's Trump in a nutshell. I don't know. He's going crazy, guys. He had a fight with Chrissy Teigen. She came back with an awesome snap and called him a pussy ass bitch. What else is there to say? This is your president. Can we please get together and vote anybody in next year? Literally anybody.
That's a great segue into the Democratic primary debate because there's still so many people.
Yeah, it's still too many. 10 people?
Still too many. I'm so glad I didn't watch any of the previous debates because it's still too many people and they're just starting, based on all the analysis that I saw, they're just starting to get their policy points across.
This is ridiculous.
In a way that you can contrast one from another because it was one debate and they were all on one stage.
All right, first of all, 10 people is too many. There's less Avengers than there are Democratic candidates right now. So it's way too many motherfuckers to take seriously. But also, speaking of policy, normally you're right. Normally, this would be the part of the campaign where I would start to hone in on specific policy points and be like, I like this dude over this.
Exactly. And then for the next year, you really see that momentum build and grow, and you support. You start giving money and telling people like, hey,
that's right.
Well, if you want to know, I'm going to vote for so-and-so.
But I'm going to be honest with you. In watching the Democratic debates, it's like watching a bunch of people argue about how much water it's going to take to put out the fires in the Amazon rainforest. Like,
exactly.
It's like the most you can spare.
Basically, compared to Trump, they're all good.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and that's why they can all be in the race up until this point. And what I did notice was that some people are more ready for this global stage. You know,
okay,
they
yes, let's talk about this. Yes.
How to get their point across succinctly, to be personable but not too much. I mean, there was motherfuckers up there trying to like crack jokes, and I was like, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, I don't
try to be Obama.
Yeah,
if you're not, and this ain't the time yet. Get the ticket, be on the ticket, and then make us like you. But can we first respect you and trust you?
Real talk. Like, okay, yes, I miss Obama too, guys. But what I'm not here for is it can't be 1 week. 1 week, y'all motherfuckers is all taking like little, not pot shots, but little nips at Obama's legacy because you're trying to get at Joe Biden, which I understand. You gotta somehow find a way to attack the popularity of the front runner. But you tried doing it through Obama, okay? That backfired. The press wrote about it.
I love it. The press. I watched CNN analysis, and they all agreed. They were like, Barack Obama had a good night.
Yeah, it's like
they were like, who did the best? They're like, I think Barack Obama came out the best.
I think Barack Obama killed this debate. Apparently, what we all needed was just a reminder of how dope,
basically,
his presidency was.
And honestly, to a large degree, and I missed the first hour, it only highlighted how much all of these potential candidates were not Barack Obama.
Amen. I mean,
I don't care who served with him.
No.
I don't care who's been to dinner with him.
No.
I don't care who's the godfather of his daughter.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Not relevant. Okay, so let's just start digging and getting personal. Joe Biden is the front runner. He looked better this debate. A lot of the scuttlebutt was that he won this debate simply by not failing and looking like a complete idiot.
He was super solid the first hour, and then he started to wane and make some guffaws. What is it, guffaws?
Let's go with that. I don't really know.
He said some crazy shit. Somebody was like, yeah, he must have found out about Red Bull. Elizabeth Warren.
That's so mean. He's old, guys, okay?
Julian Castro was the only one that like took a straight up petty ass shot at his age.
Did you forget what you just said 2 minutes ago, Grandpa, with your old ass,
With your old ass.
You know what I'm saying?
Alzheimer's, motherfucker.
Alzheimer's having ass. She can't remember shit having ass. Yeah. Having a heart attack, walking around here looking like a mummy ass.
Old ass.
Oh, man.
I mean, what? And
wow.
everybody was like, whoa. But they was at TSU, Texas Southern University, so it was, I assume, a lot of black people, and they was like, oh, I mean, they recognize Shay when they hear it. Because I heard the replay, and the whole audience was like, whoa. I was like, yeah, that's some black folks. So that happened.
So yeah, that was uncalled for. Elizabeth Warren basically played the pocket. Not too many people came for her. She didn't come for Biden very much.
She did good. I like her more and more. She ain't come with the thunder yet.
Yeah, she's playing the quiet, reasonable game. I think she's trying to not run afoul of the rocks of Hillary. You know, you can't come. You know, that's that double standard. She
cannot come off as an aggressive go-getter.
Exactly. She's got to see. Yes.
Come off as super overqualified for the position.
And she can't ever admit or seem for a second as if she's actually gaining on Joe Biden or actually experiencing any success. Like the minute she starts to seem like she knows that she's actually doing well, you can be absolutely sure that the media is going to turn on her and start to talk about how she feels like
take her down.
Yeah.
I think it's smart of her to stick to policy, and from what I heard, she was really the most clear in her delivery of what her policy points were going to be. She had stats. She had real information that I understood. Yeah. That sounded like something that could be put into place in terms of legislation. Yeah. Everyone else is still talking very theoretical, which, it's still early, and they may have had one or two, but they would all be talking about a subject, let's say climate change or cutting emissions and things like that, and then she would come with some numbers. She was like, we only have to address these key areas, and it'll cut it by 70%, and this, and that affects the global amount at this rate. And I was like, okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, so I like that part about her because that part of it reminds me of the Obama thing. But what she lacks is, and she has warmth. She has intelligence. What she doesn't have is that charisma, that swagger that Obama had, unfortunately. What I saw tonight, Beto, when he threw all his chips in on the gun question. I was like, that takes some nuts. That takes some cojones.
I do like it. He broke down semi-automatic rifles.
Yeah.
He basically was like, the way the bullet, once it enters the body, is designed to tear shit up.
Yes.
So that you fall there on the battleground and you cannot retaliate against our troops. And so basically he said, if civilians have that kind of weaponry, he said, he put out a pause and was like, hell yeah, I'm coming for your AK-15.
Yeah.
And your AK-47 and your AR-15.
Yes, he deserved to die. And I'll do it again. Ready to hell. That's right.
I mean, it was a very bold, a strong statement. And, it's not for everyone, for sure.
Yeah.
And Pence came out at his own little rally thing and was like, we stand behind the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms. And I'm really tired of this complete binary conversation that is kind of ridiculous. It's time to have a real nuanced adult conversation about the amendment, what the founding fathers intended with that language at that time, and to Beto's point, the type of guns that are being used specifically in mass shootings as it relates to having the right to bear arms. I mean, the two don't go together. They are not synchronized. So it's time to have a more nuanced conversation about the type of guns that all Americans of age and passing whatever checks should be able to access for hunting or, I guess, pleasure. In a responsible way, and there's really no real argument for responsible use, in my opinion, of a semi-automatic rifle.
Well, I think you're right, but I definitely think that more nuanced conversation is not going to convince these bloodthirsty, carnivorous hunter motherfuckers out there with these guns. But what I saw Beto do, deploying that manipulative, visceral, emotional, graphic language, could convince his wife and these suburban moms who live on the outskirts of, Kentucky and these places or whatever. So they could go like, yeah, Bob, you out here shooting these deer, but da-da-da's using these AK-47s to mow down little Timmy, and I'm not going to stand for it no more, And I feel like we need a leader, because when Trump speaks, Trump doesn't even pretend to give you facts or supporting evidence for what he's saying. All he tells you is, this is fucking awesome and you're gonna love it, because he's preaching a worldview. And I guess to go back to my original point about the debates is that it's like watching people debate for the right to shovel shit. It's like, your qualifications really don't matter. You're going to be shoveling shit. Do you know how deep we are in shit right now?
Well, that's what they're talking about too, that right now it's slowly dividing along the lines of quote-unquote more progressive Democrats who are advocating for things like universal health care, higher federal minimum wage, stricter gun laws, addressing the prison industrial complex and structural racism and reparations, willing to at least have the conversations of how does America address the structural inequities as a part of the legacy of slavery, and so what compensation should if and should, of course it should, be afforded to the descendants of slaves. And some of the other, more strictures, not as much. Everyone knows, motherfuckers want jobs. Economy, we're all on the same page with that. Trade, okay, we're cool. We want good standing in the world, and we're all the same on that. But it's more like, how divided do we fall? Of course, Biden's saying, like, Obamacare is the shit. Mm-hmm. I was there. It's working. So I say stick with that.
Yeah, I don't even feel like the Republicans are against that. Like, I feel like the funny thing is, the only thing I feel like we're really arguing about is, does America give a shit about other people, or do we only care about our? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like, I could argue. We could have nuanced conversations about any of those policies that you just mentioned, and I could be persuaded either side, as long as I felt like the broadest swath of Americans was benefiting from those policies, and also that we retain the attitude of our traditional American values of charity and asylum for others, being a welcome shore for people. In other words, going back to the 1619 Project, really looking at fulfilling the promise of America that was suggested but never actually consummated in this country. That's what I'm outraged against. It's like, it's beyond policy or specific, or like whether you're going to take AR-15s or whether you're going to leave them with handguns or not. I'm like, on a fundamental level, do we believe that the quality of human life means anything, or are we only interested in enterprise and business and entrepreneurship and growing the ranks of the 1%? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I feel like is the fundamental.
And I think it's not even just, is there like value to the human condition or the quality of life of each human, but it's like outside of yourself, outside of your direct family and those you intentionally say you care about.
Yes.
And even on a global scale, because here we are finding reasons to turn away Bahamians or migrants from Central America, or, children suffering in Syria, or wherever it is. The Amazon is burning.
Still on fire. It's still on fire, guys.
It's still on fire.
But chill out. Don't worry about
Trump
it. It's fine.
Will have the nerve to find something complimentary to say about Bolsonaro.
Yes. Well, he loves the dictators. He's a big fan of the dictators.
Of course. And, any boon
so much
for agribusiness is certainly something that the United States will benefit from, as well as the IMF and the World Bank. So, you're not going to hear any of the global leaders really saying what needs to be said in regards to addressing what is really at the foundation of global well-being in terms of our ability to breathe and survive on this planet, much less the livelihoods of the indigenous people who live in the Amazon forest.
So, Kamala, you're right, 100%. I agree 100%. We got to mention Kamala before we move on.
Yeah, she doesn't.
What's up with her? Why is she not sticking? I don't understand, because I want to like her more.
I want to like her. I wanted to like her more, and then I saw the debate, and I almost realized why I don't like her.
Okay.
Basically, everything we see, like in these congressional hearings that we love, her district attorney coming out, like that
prosecutorial voice.
Yeah, and her whole stance and her like resting bitch face, it's just not gonna win over people.
She does. She does have that, doesn't she?
She is extremely intelligent, but on a minor issue, it's a challenge for her to make her point succinctly, and she's got to like nip that lawyer shit in the bud, because we don't have time for that. There's 10 other people. We need to hear what you want to say and say it.
Yeah.
And not so much. She made a big thing about being at HBCU and why it's so important. And while I appreciate that, and being at TSU, but girl, we're talking about the president of the United States. So, right now, it just didn't help her any, I don't think.
Yeah.
And I just think, or like how she's always, I don't know. I just think she needs to find a slightly different perspective, because also I don't know that she really has the experience. She has been a senator for 6 years, going on 8 years. It's been.
That's longer than Obama.
So it's not. I don't know. Well, then she she doesn't give off a presidential vibe, and I haven't gotten anything from she said that I think I want her to go talk to the president or prime minister of China or whoever these global leaders are. I don't feel confident sending Kamala.
You know what's funny? This sounds fucked up.
I don't think she's gonna say stupid crazy shit or like try to squeeze their hand all weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know that she understands the full breadth. It just doesn't come off of her with that, as opposed to Biden. You know, he's been in there for a long time, and Elizabeth, I don't know, that professorial vibe makes her seem very knowledgeable, like she did her research.
Yeah.
I feel like she would read the briefs. I feel like Elizabeth Warren will read all of the things, all of the memos, and then be like, okay, advisors, give me your 2 cents, and then make a really measured decision.
It's weird in a way. I know I'm doing this. I know I'm doing this unconsciously, but it's weird in a way how each of them does represent sort of like a fragment of Obama that you want it to be. Like for Kamala, like there were times when Obama almost bordered on the edge of like condescending, where you could tell he was just like especially when he was talking to the Republicans and they was giving him shit, and he would be just like, yo.
But after you're president, you can do it.
Yeah, well, no, but what I'm saying is, like, even then, though, there were shades of it where he would get criticized for it, and you could be like, yeah, you was pushing it a little bit there by Obama. But with her, I feel like all the shit that Hillary got, like, clobbered for being unlikable, like, Kamala genuinely is like that. Like, she's so mean. Like, I don't know how to put, like, in a way, like you said, when she's on our side, it's fantastic. But when you see her doing it to Biden and you see her doing it to other people, you're like, damn, why you gotta be like that? Like, I just
didn't feel like the passion behind why she's doing it. Like, even the dude, Andrew Yang, who the fuck is that guy?
Who is this guy?
Who the fuck is
where
that
guy? Like, literally, where did he come from? Okay. Is he rich or something?
But like I don't understand, but I will say this.
Because he is strange.
I will say this. When he speaks, I really believe that he believes.
Oh, 1,000%.
What he's saying.
Yes.
And with Kamala, I feel like she believes it, but it's what she's supposed to say because she's decided to run.
Yes, 100%.
Like, I
yes.
feel like
it's like she's reciting the shit in her head.
Energy if she just remained a senator.
Yes.
And there's no additional vigor about what larger responsibility and bigger office and more people depending and relying on you. How that fulfills her purpose. Like, I don't see that.
And that feeds into my unconscious sort of thing that I feel like it's almost, and again, this is a Hillary thing, and I'm admitting my unconscious bias, but it feels like she almost feel like, look, I'm the most well-educated, only black, only female. Like, what the fuck else do I need to be up here?
But that's my point.
That's how,
she does come off a little entitled because
a little bit. That's what I mean. A little bit.
And I guess this is my thing. I don't know that she's more intelligent than Elizabeth Warren.
I personally do. I have seen no evidence of the.
You know what I'm saying?
I would, and actually, Elizabeth Warren is a hell of a prosecutor too when she wants to be. She can ask some pretty pointed questions.
I'm just like, okay, right, black woman. Okay, you got a point. You got totally.
Yes,
you got my
I'm
point.
there, 100%.
That was like how I was even fucking with you.
Yep.
But other than that, I'm like, you're not the best choice. Now, I will say this: if we had a Warren Harris ticket.
Oh, I'm there. I'm here for this.
Done. I'm here. Motherfucking done.
I'm here. Kamala is
because that would give Kamala the chance to grow and mature.
Yep.
And then if Elizabeth got another term or didn't, Kamala would be ready.
Yep. Kamala on the
she need to
look
at the long game.
Yeah.
All of them. Honestly,
or for that matter,
all of them besides the really old ass white dudes.
Senate. Or for that matter, stay in the Senate.
That's what I'm saying. Look at the long game.
Yes.
All of them. Beto, he young as hell.
Yeah.
He can do his thing as governor or whatever.
Yeah.
El Paso, he repping El Paso.
Although I got
a lot of time to grow.
Although at all of them, in terms of dark horse candidates, I think I saw something in Beto. I saw something in Beto in this.
I see why they gassed him up and got him to run.
Yeah. He has the looks. He almost looks like the white. A half brother of Obama. He
has the looks, and or even
got
when
that big head.
He And he's got the passion, that kind of off the cuff where he's like, fuck it, I gotta say this because I believe it.
Yeah, he's not stuck on, look, policy is good. You got to be able to talk policies to appeal to people.
And he can learn that. That can be learned.
But you, even more importantly, you got to be able to touch people's nerve endings. And that is what...
He gave his little story about the dude that was teaching the girls soccer.
You know what I'm saying?
He was in the hospital, but he was still trying to coach. You know, it was...
That's how you talk to America.
It didn't feel exploitative, but it just... I could tell he's listening to the story.
We are a nation of moviegoers, okay? You got to talk to us. You got to talk to us in narrative. Yes.
In the first place, dude. He was one of the biggest reality stars. Yes. And he was recognizable. And
Look at the obvious.
We knew what we were getting.
Yeah.
And we fucking voted him.
Look at the obvious.
We voted everyone else off the island.
Yeah. Look at the obvious, man.
We fired everyone else.
We want someone that communicates in that language.
He won The Apprentice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep the game, okay? So the more that we all continue to just be led by what the media tells you,
that's right,
you will get another Trump-like X, Y, and Z in all areas of your life.
That's right.
Straight up.
All right, I think we've
exhausted.
I think we've talked enough about the debates. Yeah, you need the vote. Go vote. Go pick somebody. The ratings were high.
We'll check back in with you in October.
Everyone's really interested in this.
But I heard that Tom Steyer, the billionaire, whatever from California, who dropped out, had already qualified for the next debate. So now there's 11. So now they got to go back to 2 goddamn debates.
Oh God,
so stupid. Can't somebody like Skype in? I mean, come on.
Maybe
just
this
put another goddamn podium up there.
Maybe this is what healthy democracy looks like. Who am I to judge? I don't know.
So we'll see. I just
let's we're moving. We're moving on. Let's catch a little hell. There's a little hell to catch.
I feel like we just did.
No. That's just doing our civic duty as enfranchised citizens. This is catching hell. A female swimmer was disqualified.
But then I heard they reversed it
over her bodysuit. I hope so. And
I didn't realize it was a black girl at first.
It's a mixed black girl, I believe. She's a swimmer, and as you know, they wear bathing suits. And this young lady was about to do her thing and get her swim on and be great when she was disqualified by a judge who said that the swimsuit was inadequately covering her buttocks, and so she couldn't swim. And there was some contention over whether whether the swimsuit was actually insufficient or whether they were singling this girl out because she just had cakes
and she had a little wedgie or whatever.
Look, how the hell do you wear a bathing suit and not get a wedge? I just don't understand.
In competition, no less.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, and you do see swimmers like pulling the shit out of their butt all the time. And it's like, I guess she didn't do that. But it is.
It's ridiculous.
You know,
it's ridiculous. I mean,
we go into a whole breakdown.
The thing is so stupid to me is I don't understand
how we criminalize and view the black female body and how there's always something wrong with it.
Yes.
It's always doing the wrong thing.
It's always in the wrong place, being too loud.
It's always too there.
Distracting you.
Remember when the girl had like a little jumpsuit on the plane?
Right. Or for that matter, the weather woman whose dresses were too tight, or the teacher. I mean, there's a million of these stories.
Right. It's we can see your form. What the hell?
Yeah. It's like, yeah. You're welcome.
Well, same thing with Serena. I mean, how long did they talk to her about whatever the hell she was
with the cat suit, exactly, and all this stuff. So
and even before that.
So yeah, again, it's just the policing of black female bodies, not recognizing a beautiful thing when they see it. It's
and
just
focusing
sad.
on the task at hand.
Yeah,
you're here to judge the swimming.
That's right. You're here to judge the goddamn swimming. That's exactly right. Wow, there's a lot more. Wow, John, you've been really.
Or just. Let her swim and then be like, deduct a point or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, okay, this is my thing. This is my thing.
In perspective.
No, this is my thing is how naked is naked these days, because now you got these little girls wearing yoga pants. I mean, they're form-fitting. You see, I mean, when dudes are playing sports, football, they're wearing compression pants now. Like, everybody's dressed like a superhero now. Everybody looks like they're wearing like they're about to go out and fight crime. Again, you know what I mean? Like, why are we still prudish?
That lends itself to a larger conversation about bodies in general, and the fact that we've almost completely sexualized
John. College fucking wrestling, exactly. Exactly.
We've almost completely sexualized the human form and the human body.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do.
At the same time, while feigning to praise the athletic abilities that we have because of our physical form.
Yeah.
But then, particularly with women, it has yet to really be separated from a sexualization.
Exactly. Well, anyways, all right. That was one that bothered me a lot. I didn't like that. Another catching hell. Okay, and this one is a personal one. I take this very fucking personally, guys. Okay, I mean, look, it's one thing to deny Bahamians asylum status. It's another thing, to be contaminating decent, hardworking cannabis products with whatever the fuck they've been putting in cannabis to kill these people. I mean, motherfuckers dying of vaping. What is going on in the world, guys? Okay, vaping was supposed to be the healthier thing, and now I'm reading these stories about young kids dying of vaping or getting lung illness.
Gotta watch out for that oil in it.
Apparently, the culprit is vitamin E oil, and the reason they put this in it is, one, to dilute the product so they can sell more of it, but two, so it makes more of a vapor cloud because the kids like the sick clouds, dude. Sick smoke, dude. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Being high isn't enough. You also gotta have fucking dubage, blowing it out. Okay, kids. All right? If you live in one of these fucked up, uncivilized states where cannabis isn't legal, all right, just stick to the herb, homie. Don't try to buy anything that is packaged or processed or anything like that from your bro. Just buy weed, okay? Because I don't know what they're doing or how they're clearing it out there.
Good old Sensibilia.
You know what I'm saying? Just smoke that brick Mexican weed that you've been smoking since you were in middle school.
Legalize it.
Seriously. And we can regulate it. Legalize it so we can and regulate it.
Yeah.
I mean, because out here, every piece of cannabis I buy, it has a nice little sticker on it that says it's been inspected by CannaSafe. It only has natural, it only has natural terpenes or whatever, tauperines, whatever they call it, and just cannabis. You know what I mean? So just be safe out there, guys. All right, smoke the plant if you can get it. If you're buying these secondhand pens, you live in one of these crazy barbaric states where you can't smoke cannabis, but you can get drunk as a fucking skunk and drive all over the place.
Or get prescription drugs.
Or you're like cracked out on opiates or whatever, but you can't smoke a blunt, a ridiculous place. Just buy weed. Do not buy these vapes anymore, okay? It's not safe. Or come visit California on your vacation, your summer vacation, and come check me out, and I'll take you to the store, man, and we'll get you hooked up, okay? But
or
just be safe.
You don't have to come here.
But be safe.
You can just go to Venice Beach.
Just drive right onto the house.
You don't have to come here. Don't come to our house.
Mm-hmm. Come right on up.
No.
Okay. Here's another thing I thought was fun. I don't know if this is catching the hell or not, but black voters are no longer the furthest left flank of the Democratic Party. What do you think of that?
That is completely unsurprising.
Isn't that strange to think, though? Once upon a time, like go back to the 60s, and in the Democratic Party, we were the most revolutionary, far out, demanding, crazy shit.
Yeah, we were advocating for civil rights.
Our civil rights and the rights of others and all that shit. But now, we're more like, give us free, but don't bother me so much with that gay stuff. It's unfortunate. And we don't care so much about Medicare for all as much as other people. We like our private insurance. Okay, what else? Or have we caught enough hell? I think we've caught enough hell. Let's see if there's any good news.
All right, I guess I should actually check my saved Instagram post.
Let's change the vibe up, guys. Here's some good news. Here's some in-between news, actually. That's a good transition. All right.
I got one.
You might have heard Paul Mooney was accused of having sex with Richard Pryor's son.
What?
You didn't hear this? Oh, wow.
What?
Yes. TMZ, our trusted news source.
Hey, they were the first to report Michael Jackson dying.
Hey, don't be mad. Right. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. So they confront Richard Pryor Jr. in a parking lot, and they go, "Hey, is it true that you and Paul Mooney had consensual sex?" And he says, in Richard Pryor Jr.'s words, he says, "Well, I was a teenager. How could it be consensual?" So that's what.
OMG.
Paul Mooney, man. That's what he said about Paul Mooney. That's not what I'm saying about Paul Mooney. That's what I'm saying. Richard Pryor Jr. said when asked the question about it, and you can look it up.
What?
Yeah. So of course, Paul Mooney's denied these allegations, and now his sons, Daryl and Dwayne, Daryl and Dwayne Mooney, have pushed back against it. They pointed out that Richard Pryor and Paul Mooney appeared together after the alleged incident and seemed to be friendly.
Paul Mooney Richard Pryor Jr.?
Richard Pryor Sr. and Paul Mooney appeared after the incident.
But is Richard Pryor Jr. saying he told his dad?
Oh, I'm sorry. The other part of the story is that apparently Richard Pryor knew and put out a hit on Paul Mooney. All this is coming out because Richard Pryor's ex-bodyguard or driver or assassin or whatever is writing a book. So all these stories are coming out. And
well, I might have to read that. No,
I think we do. I think we need to get to the bottom of this.
Wow, I mean,
I always thought Paul Mooney was gay, but then if
really,
I thought his mannerisms were quite in the manner of Oscar Wilde and had that nasally kind of prim and proper
that
kind of
at that time,
I think a lot of people thought he was gay. I mean, Richard definitely
sexuality,
did booty sex with guys.
Fluidity, the sexual fluidity was more the norm, maybe not talked about. So I don't dispute that
nobody straight in LA
had sex with a boy or a male.
Yeah,
but if he is underage, that is an issue.
Yeah, but I think even then, I think times were different. I mean,
of course. I mean, they were, but still, it doesn't.
It doesn't excuse it. No,
that's not consensual.
It doesn't. Although you know what's funny?
Is a child.
Although speaking of which, that's excellent. I'm sorry. I want to get to some good stuff, but that's another thing I brought up. I want to bring up. Did you know there are still places in America where they have child marriage? So like a bill that would have ended child marriage in Idaho, which has no minimum age for couples who want to get married, died in the state house. And Republican lawmakers who control the legislature opposed it, including Representative Brian Zollinger, said it went too far. All right? He said, obviously I'm against child marriage, but basically a marriage is a contract between people that shouldn't require a government position. And guess who else was on the side of this? The divide has created some unlikely alliances between conservative politicians and liberal-leaning groups, including the ACLU and Planned Parenthood, who both oppose the changes. So what do you think of that? Do you think
I guess I'm confused on what the bill said and what the changes were that even ACLU and Planned Parenthood would oppose it.
In California and Louisiana, opponents of change have argued that raising the minimum marriage age is an ineffective solution since other child welfare laws already
they must have tacked on some shit.
Yeah, it doesn't really explain what else.
But either way, I mean, the fact that's very shocking that that's even still allowed. But
that's what I thought.
Woo!
I thought that's like. But again, it also goes to show you, like the ACLU, all these special interest groups, they're moral. They're only moral when they're on your side of that issue. If they're not on your side of the issue, that's like, what the fuck? How can you be arguing for? Anyway. Any good stuff? What's good stuff?
Oh, right. I was looking and then I stopped. Okay. I don't know about good stuff, but Felicity Huffman was the first parent as part of the Varsity Blues scandal with his parents, and were paying this dude to either have their kids' SAT scores raised or getting extra time in hopes that they would achieve a higher score, or straight up bribing athletic coaches at Ivy League and or elite universities. Felicity Huffman is an actress. She recently was in When They See Us. She played old bitch Linda whatever in the miniseries. And she's getting 14 days in prison, a $30,000 fine, 250,000 hours of community service, and 1 year of probation for paying $15,000 to boost her daughter's SAT scores in what is called the largest college admission scam ever prosecuted.
14 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
But what's really more interesting and upsetting to me is that she still got the color for the, what is it? The complexion for the protection. Because y'all might remember a black homeless woman named Tanya McDowell who was sentenced to 5 years for using her babysitter's address to enroll her son in kindergarten. Okay? And there's multiple stories like that. There was the woman who was using her mom's address. She similarly got sentenced to more than 2 weeks. And it's kind of a joke.
Yeah, it is a joke.
This idea that these really rich, privileged people are going to be punished.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the other joke. It's really sad that y'all niggas haven't learned yet. Stop trying to learn how to read, okay? America been trying to tell you since slavery times, you're not supposed to get an education. You're supposed to stay dumb and, I don't know, get on welfare, help out the prison industrial complex. That's what your body is for. Your body exists to fill up a cell so that somebody can have a job keeping you in it. Come on. Why are you... what does it take to get through to you? Okay? Here's something. I don't know if this is yes, y'all or not, but I think it's interesting. Okay? A massive study confirms there is no genetic predictor of gayness or of homosexuality. It's not a thing. It's not a genetic thing, or that they can say. It's not a thing they can point to in your genetic section and go, here you go, this baby's going to be gay or this baby's not going to be gay. The reason I like that so much is because I've long said that I think it's a bullshit defense to say, oh, well, you can't be mad at a gay person or a queer person because it's not their choice to be queer. They don't have any choice, so that you got to accept them where they are. Fuck that. Even if it was a choice, even if somebody wanted, just because they wanted to love someone of the same sex, they decided consciously, thought about it, analyzed it, and said, this is what I want to do. I've analyzed all the options, and this is the option that I want to do. It's still great. It's fine. It's as acceptable and as logical as any other goddamn choice you make in this planet.
It should very much still be their human right to decide for themselves.
Yes, exactly. And also what I love about this is that I think for a long time, people were hoping that they would find some genetic predictor, right? So that they could find out whether their baby in their belly was going to be a gay baby or not.
Oh, well, sure. They would definitely take it all the way. And then they would also be able to just use that to rationalize any number of behaviors.
That's right.
As opposed to just really accepting and loving someone however they
human.
choose to identify and offering them all of the respect and human dignity that we all deserve and are already born with.
That's right. And speaking of being born with, you know what this really means in the final analysis? It means we all have the potential to be gay, queer, or whatever.
Oh, man, come on. Yeah, genetic. I mean, if you don't think that, then you have never heard of the Kinsey scale, which really just looks at the various degrees of your sexual preferences. Are you exclusively in heterosexual? Are you, incidentally having sexual interactions with people of the same sex? Is it more than incidental? Someone just posted it recently. Is it more than incidental? And then all the way to exclusively having homosexual sexual experiences. And most people, if they're really honest with themselves or with whoever, they would find themselves somewhere along the spectrum.
That's right. Exactly right.
And that's just, again, it's biological, people. I don't know if there's a genetic marker, but I think throughout societies, and you can look in animal, kingdoms, homosexual behavior is not an anomaly or abnormal. It may not be as frequent or as prevalent as heterosexual matings, but it happens enough in essentially all cultures and all species that it is a normal part of the culture and the behavior, of the biological behavior.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's nothing natural about jerking off to porn. You know what I'm saying? Guys, we've already taken it way too far. We've taken it way beyond the natural parameters of whatever this shit was set up to do, guys. We doing crazy shit. We got people hanging from swings, dressing up in leather, and all that heteronormative.
It's so normal now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but all that according to heteronormatives would be like, well, that's fine. You know, you could dress up in leather and put a golf ball in your mouth and get spanked on the behind as long as it's penis entering vagina at the end of the day. That's totally normal and completely standard. But you know why I know that? Because they all went out to see what was that dumb movie? The dumb movie,
50 Shades.
50 Shades. They all went out. They all read that book.
Saw that or read the book.
I don't
know. I had read,
but I noticed about it. I think
little cheap romance novels as a child, and so I didn't need to see it again. Nothing will top my 12-year-old imagination.
Nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like,
there is nothing Mr. Gray could do.
We're all
that would be as titillating
perverts.
as my own imagination at that age.
Exactly. We're all fucking perverts, guys. Enjoy it. What else has been great?
Well, even that, it's like maybe we're not perverts. Like the term that we use for that. We're all sexual beings.
Yeah, normal. I say that because I'm a Bukowskian in the sense that I don't ever want to live in a world where we are afraid of the dirty, of the scandalous, of the transgressive, of the naughty. The naughty, guys. The naughty. You remember that? That's the whole reason that I defend Dave Chappelle. Not because he was right for saying what he said, not because he didn't say some hurtful or damaging things about people, even though I think his intention was to humor and to enlighten. The reason I say it is because I think there is space for the naughty. And it is ironic that what used to be the vanguard of the naughty, the people who are on the side of like lighten up and get a life, now we've become the side of Puritans and either or and no humor and no fun if it's not righteous. If it's not righteous, good righteous fun, then no fun. And that's fucking...
I mean, okay, speaking of that, I was looking back at what I had saved a couple weeks ago. So to piggyback on that, a couple weeks ago, a young man committed suicide after being bullied for dating a transgender woman.
Oh, I heard about that. I did hear about that.
So awful. I mean,
but wait. But before you get too empathetic, there's another thread that came out about that, which was that guy, the trans woman that he was dating, had actually recently broken up with him because he was sporadically abusive to her. So before we have any sympathy with these heteronormative motherfuckers, even when they're on the so-called good side, you know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, I don't know that he was on the good side. I just was really addressing the fact that the people who bullied him and gave him shit, it was like, what the fuck do you care?
Yeah, why do you care?
Why do you care?
Why
his penis goes?
That is weird.
Or where anybody's penis goes. That's not yours, and not your body.
And okay, but also to be clear, and I have to caveat this. I am what's known as a victim blamer as well. I do have to wonder though, like, and also I think I stand with Whoopi Goldberg. If motherfuckers, I don't know, like I wouldn't post my shit. Why are you posting your shit to people that don't appreciate your shit? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean,
like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Social media has turned.
I do agree that everyone feels the need to document things, but to some degree as well. I mean, he very well could have felt like, I'm tired of hiding this aspect of my identity.
Fair enough.
And I want even people that I know and am close to just know the truth, and that to advocate is to say, I am still worthy of love and respect. Yeah. Even though I loved and had a relationship with a transgender woman, knowing that that's not widely accepted. So I'm not mad at him for putting that out there.
I guess I get, it makes me cynical, obviously, because
I was just going to say, to not maybe properly arm yourself with the emotional support that you would need for the backlash that was inevitable. I mean, I guess if you want to like give him shit for something.
Well, no, I was going to give him shit over the fact that it's like, it feels hypocritical or something's not quite right with the milk if you hitting this woman as well. You know what I mean? Like, if you're being abusive to her, but also sort of putting yourself out there as a champion because you're dating.
Well, I'll say this. I don't really know why he posted it, and hitting a woman or abusing anyone is never okay. And I think that, again, we're all very complicated human beings. I think both are true.
Yes.
He's fucked up because he was abusing her, not because he loved her or was dating a trans woman.
Precisely. Yes.
Can we talk about that? That's really the conversation.
1,000%. 1,000%.
And one shouldn't, negate the other.
Yes, 1,000%. 1,000%. You're right. You're absolutely right. And what's really sad is I would wager diamonds to coal that most of the people giving him shit were black people.
Oh, and the video I saw, it was a bunch of black dudes.
Yeah, we just, we got a lot more work to do with that, guys. We just got a lot of work to do. I don't know what. I honestly don't know what the insecurity is, man. I don't know how to connect the dots just to show that the anger, the reflexive anger and intolerance stems from fear and insecurity, even though it doesn't seem like that. Even though, that's the thing about anger and pride and puffing up your chest and taking up space as a man, is that it kind of makes you feel stronger, and then so that becomes self-justifying. Well, I don't want to feel weak.
Well, we have not properly created an environment in society where men can take up space without it being grounded in anger and their physical prowess and potential for violence.
That's right.
So,
is there any good news? Leslie Jones not returning to SNL.
Well, she's about to come back with the supermarket sweep.
Okay.
And she got her own thing going.
Okay.
And I think she's excited about it.
Okay.
So I'm excited for her.
Okay, then.
I guess they hired somebody new, turns out had some racist shit or some homophobic shit, he has said. And everyone's like, damn, SNL, don't you check your shit?
Oh, I did hear about that.
Don't know his name. Don't even really care.
Who cares? He will last a season and then be gone. So there's that. You can count on that shit. Lauren does not play that. Well,
they're struggling for eyeballs, so they're walking the line as well.
Yeah, but I don't see him going to the wrong side of history thing. He has the integrity, the legacy.
No, that's what I mean. That's why. So, another good news, there's a good movie. I don't know if it's good, but a movie called The Weeknd, starring black people.
Yay!
Shahir
Zameda?
Yes.
Zameda, okay.
She's in it. DeWanda Wise.
Come through.
Lan from Insecure and directed by a black woman called The Weeknd. Check it out.
Dope.
What?
I was going to say, saw the last episode of Black Lady Sketch Show.
Oh, yes, I did
which
too.
Was hilarious.
They got a season 2, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Insecure has started filming again for season 4, so that'll be fun.
Atlanta should be coming back sometime soon.
Array is launching a new indie film programming at their campus. They built a little theater there, so go to Array. Nice. It's called Array 360.
Nice.
They're going to be showing some classics. The first one is a film called Sugarcane Alley by Yuzan Palsy, who's a French filmmaker, one of the first black women filmmakers to make a studio film, and she directed one of the last films that Marlon Brando was in. She's the only female director he worked with, and he was nominated for an Oscar for A Dry White Season. And she's done numerous amount of things, and so they're showing one of her earlier films, Sugarcane Alley, in addition to many others throughout the next few months. Also, one weekend is going to be a tribute to John Singleton, so they're going to be showing all of his films.
Rest in power. I got one. You reminded me. Here's a yes, y'all. Genuine, solid. I think we can all get behind. Long time ago, Francis Ford Coppola made a film called The Cotton Club. Which was intended to be the story of 4 brothers, 2 white brothers, 2 black brothers, and their interactions with a club called the Cotton Club, which was owned by the mob, where black performers could perform but could not be a part of the audience. Okay. This was after he had made a series of groundbreaking vanguard films. We're talking about what was all the shit he made? Apocalypse Now, right? No, I'm not sorry, that's Apocalypse Now shit.
No, he did do that one.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm not too drunk. So he did all these great groundbreaking films, and then he did this film. And by this time, he had been fighting with studios so long, he was tired. And they preyed on his weakness, and they said there's too much goddamn tap dancing and too much of these niggas in this film. You got to cut it out and make it more white centered. Not in those words, but in that suggestion. So he did it, and that was the film, The Cotton Club, we got, and he was never happy with it. Now at the age of 80, using $500,000 of his own money, he went back, recolored 23 additional minutes, restoring the arc of the black characters and more of their scenes and talking about their life and their story, and subtracting 13 minutes of footage from the white storyline.
Hell yeah. Is it going to be released in theaters?
I don't know about that, but it's going to be released nationally as The Cotton Club Deluxe.
Okay. Check it out, y'all. Check it out.
I cannot wait to see this shit because Gregory Hines and Maurice Hines.
I'll take more of them.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can always see what the story was intended to be if you squint. You know, it never made any sense that a story about the Cotton Club was centered on fucking Richard Gere. It never made any sense.
No.
So yes, y'all. Here's to an 80-year-old white man returning history and making good on a mistake back in the past. And look, I think we've given you enough podcasts. Mel's got to go to bed.
Y'all.
She's got to get up in the morning. She got a new car, so that's another yes, y'all. Yay, Mel got a car. Langston got
a job.
Got 2 jobs now. You're almost a Jamaican. One more job and you're Jamaican. One more job and you are on money.
I will be official.
Our son got tested into honors classes. Yay! So I guess we're not fucking him up too badly.
I was saying I got a job and how all of our schedules have changed. Both kids is in school. We running around. That's partly why we ain't been doing the podcast. Sorry.
That's true. Not sorry. So you're welcome for this one. You're more than welcome. And we'll see you next time, okay?
We will definitely be back.
Yeah. We're a part of the village.
Hopefully in less than a month. But
hopefully in less than a month.
We'll have that other debate. So we might just be that.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll see. But anyways.
And go see Hustlers. I don't know. It's like 6 women.
It looks interesting.
It's based on a true story.
I might could wait till it's on TV. But you know what I'm saying? I might could. You know what I'm saying? It looks like... Oh, I kind of read the story of the original women. They weren't so nice, but that's whatever.
Well, no.
Yeah, that is what it is. We're a part of the Village Podcast Network. We also podcast and rock with In the Black Podcast, and also my other podcast with my brother from another, Algernon Billups. We come from Bad News, so check them out. They're great. Like and subscribe this podcast. Share it with other people. Mention it to them.
All the things.
We're all the things. Kids. Stitcher, iTunes. We got a website I never update. Yeah, we love doing this. We love you. And
thanks for listening. It's your 100th time or your first time.
That's right. And until next time, stay woke. Peace.